Cheers! Hi, good morning to all you YouTubers out there. Hey, guess what? This is Kris.
And Kris.
And we are Kris and Kris in
Kris and
the
Kris.
morning. Kris and Kris in the morning.
Sorry, I missed a week and I'm having a hard time remembering how this is done.
Oh my gosh, right? I know.
But am I tan? Am I beautiful?
Yes, golden, glowing.
I'm a bit red. But anyway,
Yes.
anyway.
What are we drinking today?
Strawberry.
Smells reminiscent of a strawberry.
I think it's a pretty good imitation. I'm enjoying it. I don't normally love fruit tea, but it's not bad.
Hey, all right. Guess what? Market stats
Market stats.
for all of those who care.
This week we have 2,459.
Guess what? We're
On the
exactly
market.
100 more than the previous week. And this has been an upward trend.
Yes.
So
Yes.
folks who are looking to buy, guess what? There is more inventory on the market than there has been in quite a while. So let's hope that's a good trend. And going into summer, we can get you into something amazing. Median house price also rose, not by much, only 0.6%.
Yeah, 2,500.
Yeah, so not much
Full
above the
numbers.
last week, but if you've been watching, all 12 of you, you will notice that our median house prices have been creeping up week after week.
My gosh, days on market, we're back at 7 again. It's
Gosh.
been 6 for like a
To
month
a
and
week.
to 7. Oh man, it's
Right?
been a while.
Which is great. Doesn't mean that we don't want you to put the offer in right away, because guess what? The best homes are still getting snapped up quickly. And in fact, the number of homes sold down just a little bit, 650 from the previous week, 699. We were just one shy away from 700. I would say that also reflects the heat wave that we hit last week. Oh
Yeah.
my gosh! No
I
one
mean,
was expecting 112 in June.
Weather is pretty huge for people to do any kind of activity. And in Vegas, if it's windy or rainy, screw that, we're not going outside. If it's hot, you might as well stay inside too.
And it was literally the hottest
115.
weekend. I think we broke a couple of records.
Sorry,
this
I missed
year.
it. I was in the Ozarks getting the tan and that humidity.
Someone's getting their glow on.
Yeah.
But hey, speaking of ways to beat the heat,
Oh,
this is
that's a great segue.
Yes,
Absolutely.
right.
Ways to beat the heat.
Thank you.
Yeah,
for
well, we
that.
talked about pools a bunch
Yeah, we
last
did.
week.
Yeah, right.
Yeah.
So
Well,
if you can't jump into a pool or you don't have access to one,
Definitely make friends with a pool, though.
make friends
Make
with
friends
the pool.
with someone who has a pool.
Exactly.
What are some other ways to beat the heat?
Yes. So one of the biggest ways to do it and to save yourself some money in your wallet is to use smart devices like a smart thermostat. I have one. You mentioned
I also
you
have
have
one.
one.
Yeah.
I use the Nest.
Oh,
one
that's
of the
a real fancy one.
Oh,
Dang.
fancy, right? So one of the ways that the Nest benefits is that it knows when I'm home and away. So when I'm away, it can actually kick up the air conditioning just a couple degrees, so it's not working as hard throughout the day when nobody's there to cool the house for.
Yeah, there's no point.
Right.
I can also control it from my phone, which is nice. I think mine was $150 maybe dollars.
Right, that's roughly about what mine is, but
Yeah.
we've seen them online, even as low as $50.
Yeah.
Wi-Fi enabled app right on your phone that
Won't
you can
break the bank, and you have sensors around the house that can tell you or that know. You know, smart. They're just smart.
Exactly. And speaking of sensors, you could actually now, I know for the Nest system, probably for others, you can have multiple sensors because maybe your thermostat is tucked away right next to the garage where it doesn't get a lot of sun and it generally stays cool. Meanwhile, the primary bedroom upstairs is baking.
Meanwhile, the ones that matter, yeah.
Exactly.
Well,
So,
yeah.
really good idea to get
Yeah.
yourself into that. Of course, always change your air filters regularly.
Yeah.
Can't stress that enough.
Just normal AC efficiency stuff. Air filters, cleaning the ducts can be something that you want to maybe invest in. It could cost a couple $100s, but someone will go in there with a vacuum and suck out all that years of dirt, which we all
Well,
have.
we talked about classic Vegas homes, right? So this would be a perfect if you were going to opt for something maybe a little more classic. It's been around for a bit. It's not a lot of money. I think
Clean
I've
it.
seen it for under $100, where they can come in, clean all the air ducts, including
Yes.
your dryer duct. Right?
100%. If you're doing a remodel, you're gonna. That's one thing
Yeah.
that should be on your must-to-do list.
Oh.
And you don't know what kind of things that person has had in their home for many, many years. You
Yeah.
want to clean that out.
Absolutely.
Another thing, if a remodel is in the works, windows. Invest in. They're a little bit pricier, but invest in some good windows.
Good windows, and especially anything marked low E. So low E windows do two things for you. One is to let as much natural light in as possible, but it blocks a lot of UV rays. So one of the things that we want to do is to block those UV rays. We want to keep that heat out. But in the winter, we also want to maintain the heat inside the home. So they do a really good job.
Good
so if you
insulation.
are planning a remodel, a lot of newer builds now are like, they call it low E certification, very energy smart homes. So
And if you're not going to renovate, even if you're not in the middle of something like that, you always check the seals on your windows because that can also help with the energy efficiency inside your home.
Oh, absolutely. We've all been in a home that's maybe a little older and you almost feel a draft, right?
Yep.
So check the seals
We'll
around
have
your
that.
doors, check the seals around your windows. That could be a small
Hugely
savings right
impact
there.
your bill as well. You know, not only are you going to stay cooler, it's going to cost you a little less. And another thing that can cost you a little less money is changing your light bulbs, LED bulbs.
Ooh, yeah.
But also heat efficient as well.
Right.
Do you know how hot incandescent bulbs are? I mean, have you ever sat under a desk lamp and it's just
I don't know.
like
These
it's
lights that
hot.
we're under right now feel a little
Fluorescence,
warm, right?
yeah.
Fluorescence, they're still a little warm, but hey,
LEDs,
LED
though.
lights, right? So LED lights do a really amazing job. Not traditional bulbs. Sorry, I will take that step
Yeah.
back. So traditional bulbs, incandescent bulbs, as you call the old wire bulbs, they tend to run warmer, but they're super cheap to produce and super cheap to buy.
Mm-hmm.
But
They don't last as long.
over the long run, yeah, you are spending more because you are replacing bulbs
Mm-hmm.
constantly versus LED, which has huge lifespans. I've seen some 7 to 10 years
LEDs, yeah.
on LEDs.
Yeah,
like,
absolutely.
holy smokes, you're not generating the heat, lasts a lot longer.
Not to mention, you can change them to be cool colors if you want to have a party.
Right, party mode.
Party
my
mode.
my lights have an app that generates party mode.
Same.
Just crazy.
Yeah.
You could like dial in if you celebrate Christmas. You could just say Christmas, and all the lights in the house are blinking like a Christmas tree. You know, red.
We
and
do that with our porch
green.
lights. We for Halloween they're always purple, or for Christmas they're red and green. You can just the app is great.
Yeah.
Energy efficiency plus technology equals money saving and a lot of fun. So
And can I just say that LED lights have come down in cost a lot?
they have, yeah. The technology's not new anymore.
Right around, what was it, Black Friday?
Mm-hmm.
I had picked up probably about 10 different lights. They were $11 at a major
Uh-oh.
retailer. And that's app enabled and color changing. Like craziness, right?
And they last 7 years instead of having to change them out every
Yeah.
Yeah. So
So-
consider it.
Holy smokes. So definitely some great ways to beat the heat and be energy efficient.
Next up on our segment, buying versus renting. We've talked a lot in the past about renting, what it means to rent, why buying is better, but I don't think we've ever really dove into it. So let's talk about a couple of the good things about buying a home.
Right. So, of course, are going to be tax benefits, right? So,
Huge
one of
one,
our
yeah.
biggest things is what you can write off, what you can't write off. Many of us work from home, me included.
Yep,
You work from
self-employed.
home.
Small business owners, hashtags.
Hey, right? Hashtag small business. Hashtag empowerment. So, when you work from home, especially for you full-timers out there, did you know that you could actually write off the square footage of your home office, including a portion of utilities, your internet, your phone usage, all those sort of things? So, of course, we aren't tax consultants. That's
No,
someone
gotta
you would
talk to
want
an
to speak
expert
to.
for sure,
but we do
There-
know enough that there are
Yeah. There are a lot of
bounty
benefits.
tax benefits.
A bounty, I like that. A bounty of tax benefits. I like that.
Exactly. So,
What's another reason?
oh my gosh. So here's the big one.
Oh.
We all want to build equity.
Equity. What is equity?
So, you know what that means?
What does it mean?
It means vocabulary corner.
Vocabulary corner.
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 Yeah, that was beautiful.
That was
Wait,
beautiful.
we're getting
It's
better
been
and
so many
better.
weeks since we did one.
I know, I missed it. Okay.
I did too. Okay.
Equity. What is equity? Let's
What is
define
equity?
it for the people. The difference between what you owe on your mortgage and what your home is worth. So if your home is worth $200,000 and you owe $150,000, that's $50,000 of equity that you have in your home.
Nice. And when you rent, what do you get?
I believe it's zero equity.
Yes, absolutely. So here's the big benefit. When you are putting that money in every month, you are building an equity for yourself and not equity for somebody else.
Right. Owning it's a huge step, and I know it
It's a
can be
huge step.
scary, but it is the benefits, man.
Yeah, and think about the money that you're spending every month. We've all done it where we're either renting an apartment, a condo, a house, and at the end of your lease, boom, what do you get hit with? A rent increase. And it's
There's
like,
no surprises if you own your own home. You know exactly how much your mortgage payment's going to be throughout the course of
exactly.
time.
You can budget for that. You can plan
Yeah.
for that. You're not at the whim of somebody who's like, you know what, I could probably get 150 more for this. And
Yep.
then there's no room for negotiation. They've
There-
already set their mind up.
Pets, that's a huge one. I've been dealing with renters,
Pets.
trying to find a pet-friendly place. If you own your own home, you don't have to worry about whether you're allowed to or not. You can. It's your house.
Well, we have both been doing a lot of rentals, and something that we've noticed is that not only are you paying a security deposit for yourself and your monthly rent, there's now places that charge a security deposit for your pet, but not only one pet, It's every
Per
pet has
pet.
to pay a security deposit.
Or like more on the rent per month for
in
per
addition
pet.
to possibly
$200,
more
$300
rent.
bucks. It's crazy.
Right?
It's
So
crazy.
that's just a lot of money that's going out the door that you could be putting in your pocket rather
Mm-hmm.
than paying to somebody else.
Also, the putting holes in the wall, that's a big one with rentals. You can personalize your own place and do what you want with it.
Paint,
you can
flooring,
paint.
carpets,
Yes.
change up your landscaping. If you have a great outdoor
Carpet.
space.
Yeah, just choose what you want because it's yours. And it is, I think it's worth noting that your first home does not have to be your forever home because it can turn into an investment. When you're finished living in it,
right.
that can become something for you to then, gain your equity. It's just, that's a whole other topic.
It
Let's
is
talk
a whole
about that
topic.
next week, actually.
Next week or another week, we will talk about.
Equity, no, sorry, not equity.
We'll talk about it.
About investment
investments.
properties,
Yes.
because it could start something as small as you want to change your current home or your first home into an investment, and it's easy. It's easy. There's pros and cons, and there's a lot to go into. So let's save that for next week. We're tabling that.
Sounds good. Tabling that. We're gonna table that. Well, I think we're gonna table this episode because that was just a
Running
ton
low.
of great information.
Yeah.
Right?
Oh gosh, that was great.
Yes.
Chris, it's good to be back.
Yes. Welcome back.
Thank you. I
And
missed
your
it.
tan and your glow and your
Thank
vacation.
you, and all of you
freshness.
as well, Mom. Hello, good to see you again. See you next week.
Yes. See you next week.
Cheers.
Cheers.
And cut.